Welcome back, everybody, to the Warlord of SBAS plays Torment, Tides of Numenera, episode 79. Last time we talked to a Menvor guard, discovered some of the patrols are missing. Then we went over here, talked to some cultists outside of this place that wanted this guy to go away. Then we talked to this guy and found out he's doing like extensive research on Love Bloom. And we looked at the construct, blah blah blah. So now let's check out the only other thing we can do in this place, except for attack him probably. Check out this device.
Let's go.
An odd device sits in the middle of the room. It almost looks like a capsule of some sort, but it is too covered with ducts and ports and vents, and strange blue light emanates from it. Cables run from its base throughout the room, attached to various devices. It vibrates with a mild, occasionally stuttering pulse, and when it falters, the field that protects the interior of the shiny Shante briefly fades. Examine the device. Invigorating conversation. Critical success. Stat pools has been on effort restored. Sweet. The machine is encapsulated a piece of bloom flesh, which is wired in various leads. It appears the core is a counter stimulus device to drive the bloom back. Bleh. Resonance and frequencies use the flesh of the great predator against itself, creating a kind of energy field that repels the bloom and keeps it from entering the chamber. But that constant pressure from the bloom's hunger is driving the machine toward irreversible breakdown. You do not think that you can repair it. Let's tell him this device is going to fail. You disturb me again? What great manner to call for your interruption. Will you allow me to talk to you about it? No. Stop experimenting on the bloom. Stop. Preposterous. A life's work expresses itself within these walls, causing production. Ceasing production now would be to invalidate that work, to cast knowledge away, to spit it in the face of reason. No good reason exists to stop. Your field generator is failing. The relevance of that statement is to my work is neglect. He breaks off as the import of your statement strikes him. He hurries over to the machine and inspects it thoroughly. His crest bobbling with the quick movement of his head. As he stands, his face is grim. It may fail within a year. The situation is dire. The repair of the generator will be difficult, perhaps not impossible. Some of your autonomous weapons are non-functional. Maintenance of the contract is essential for safety and continued well-being. Unfortunately, it is a task that continues to be deferred. The vigilant crest flutters when he concedes. In case of major attack in the structure, he may well be overrun. Not enough time, only 28 hours in a day. Must consider means of extension. Do you realize that you have years of study that still need an analysis? Years? Nonsense. The accumulated experience have yielded only. He cheers off as he looks over at his desk full of notes and begins making mental calculation. Perhaps 12 years should data gathering stop now. Interesting. He continues to regard his pile of notes. Have I been here so long? Perhaps it is time to consider analysis. Well, I'm not going to attack him. Was that not enough to stop him? Should stop an experiment on the bloom. Is the threat of annihilation not enough for you? The cultists will kill you and destroy your work for it. It's time to stop.
Making a note.
Success. He's not looking at you as you speak. But he begins to nod his head. The words spoken are rational. My data must be turned into useful knowledge. This will be impossible should my enemies destroy my work. Very well. The experiments cease. Yes, application. It would feel well to be free of this underworld. Vigilance moves around the room. Some machines will remain active, but the experiment will cease. He powers down the device and closes his eyes for a brief moment. May my luck hold, he whispers. I can't do anything. Alright, I can do stuff now. I have ceased my experiments. What order do you have of me? Let me get how to deactivate the automaton like you're about to go. To speak the truth, I do not. Okay, he won't tell. He just won't tell me.
Yes.
Alright.
Yes, child.
Oops. Not 101.
Of course.
Alright, I believe I've solved the problem. Let's just make sure this is enough for them. The ink pot. I solved the problem. Ink pot looks up from his scribbling, his crooked mouth shaping itself into a mockery of a smile. We await your intersection with Loku, for our God is in pain, so we will not wait forever. I convinced Locos to stop the measurements of the bloom.
Making a note.
Praise the devourer! He embraces you, his eyes wild with fever and fevers. The other causes a caper about, bending and twisting in exhalation. Releasing you suddenly, he rummages in a pocket and drops you a handful of shins into your hand, along with a small device. Payment from the extremities. In the manner of our outside world, but the greater reward is the favor you have earned from our God. What does this do? Neat glasses. Okay. Well, I solved that problem.
In an instant.
So is it just neat glasses? Glasses have a shiny metallic frame that always feels warm. Lenses are nearly opaque and blurry, making their wearer quite quickly feel dizzy and sick. Neat. What I always wanted, glasses that make me feel sick. That area's done. Oh. Okay, you look interesting. Let's talk to you. Talk to you later.
Of course.
Hello. Interesting people. The three humanoids wear intricately carved armor that makes them look like undersea dwellers of legend. You cannot recall having seen the material from which they are shaped. Either. Though the suits are bulky, their wearers have the strange and fluid grace. You might have mistaken them for monsters, but their leader is unhelmed and appears human. She has close cropped hair and an angular face, and her jaw is clenched, if she was subconsciously chewing on a problem. At your approach, she gives you an irritated glance. You address the Jamader Blacklaw? Speak. What you need or be gone.
Making a note.
And she considers her words. Ordinary hospitality is ours. Forgive this one. The mall to our entourage was closed. Well, that's not good. Your home was closed. She indicates a hideous tentacle mouth that lies dead in the center of the platform. Another way we must find. Have you word of open mouths that lead to our station? She lowers her voice. Beseech you even. Trapped here with the supplies we purchased for our compatriots. This riddle is getting to me, and the frustration of speaking in a foreign tongue. If you want me to help, you'll need to answer some questions. Her jaw unclenched by the smallest fraction. Naturally, this one will seek to provide informative truth. How did you come to be trapped here? Ugh. I'm talking terribly to myself. Left the entourage where our ancestors have served for centuries. Sought resupply as we have so many times before. Upon return, the way was closed. Again, she indicates the dead maw at her feet. Worry now that commoners may suffer without us. Or worse, that if the ship returns while we are absent, no, that's too terrible to a thought. Tell me about your anchorage. All the refugees we have ever known. We await the ship that will end our mission and take us home. Captain Jenier commands us. You find the maw and speak to her. Perhaps she can tell you more. In a way, I suppose our anchorage is our home. After all, we have never known another. Or should I go look for maws? This one hoped you would know. We are strangers here. Buying supplies is all we know, not hunting maws. She looks down at the dead maw at the platform. Here was the maw that led to our anchorage. Here it had been for many years, yet on our return, dead. Alright. So we have to find a new way to get to your home. Add that to the mission stuff. Alright. Walks without fear. At first you're not sure if your eyes are playing tricks on you, or some transparent man shuffles and struts before you, his body fading into and out of incorporeality. His once fine clothes have rotted away. His long beard looks to be host to any number of small vermin, and his eye sockets are disturbingly empty. Yet as you draw near, somehow he hones in directly on your face, and you have an unnerving feeling that he can see more than what's on the surface. The staring sockets are deep and cavernous, as if they contain depth and space beyond the confines of his skull. He says nothing to you. Who are you? His eye stalk is staring into you for a moment while he considers. At last he shakes his head and says, I do not know. I have language, and I have the memory of muscles, but I do not remember how I came by these truths. What I remember is waking in the depths of the bloom. I remember walking. I remember years of darkness before I emerged into the upper reaches at last. The bloom looks something took me, but gave me peace in its place. What happened to you? The bloom took my old life from me. I awoke in its beating heart just stayed there while it digests my memories. I remember being terrified, but I do not remember that what terrified means. He shakes his head to clear it. I had a name. I had a body. I had emotion and a life outside of this form, but I do not remember any of those things now. I do not remember fear. I am reborn in a new life. I am free. What are you doing here? I walk through this large part of me and let it guide my steps. The weapons of humans mean nothing to this shape, and the paths of the bloom open for me. I am part of the bloom. It is part of me. I have been to places others have never seen, and I have seen worlds that lie waiting beyond the maws. You came from the depths of the bloom? What do you see down there? If I speak of them, the memories disappear from me forever. Yet, thoughts themselves are ephemeral, like our lives, gone, and only those who choose to serve have any hope of continuation. But even the memory is vanity. In a generation, who will remember those words? His suckless eyes look away, and then back again. He smiles gently. Let me tell you what I saw. My memories are useless. Perhaps telling him will increase their life. The bloom reaches through dimensions and across realities. What did I see? I saw a vast beating heart. I traveled through skins of the bloom's arteries and its viscera. I stood in open walls and looked out across the alien landscapes where lost sailors mourn for home, or crystal fields glitter under distant stars. I walked through the slave block where the great Chilla staged her revolution. What would you know? Tell me of the heart. A great chamber, the place where the bloom spawns and devours its voices, where wizards gather in conclave, where its intelligence is strongest and sharpest. I woke there. I know it from my master. Journey is not to me, not anymore, but so hungry. Tell me about the bloom's viscera. The gullet. This is a name among the bloom's guides, a place of veins and flesh where the memories of the bloom's chosen, where they are digested. Echoes wander the place, echoes of the eaten. He holds a hand at his heart as if pained. I recall stories of the abyss, the gates of Abaddon. The gullet would be their source. Tell me about the sailors? Maskers, they call themselves, holding fast to their history because they fear they have been forgotten. Old lushering guild banisters are their prison bars. How about the slave block? Chilla was born there, not physically, but her legend, the first Memvora. He forces out the last word with an effort, and a spray of intentional spittle out. It went on his face. She spoke to the bloom, and it answered her. The monument of her strength is a murder's nest now. Mem, who is the word? Why is that word I struggle to recall? Well, yet it feels strange, right? I want to hear about the crystal fields. A great plateau. Those towers bedazzle the eye. Lightning flickers among the towers. The strange silhouette beings tunnel beneath the glassy surface. There have I watched children of stars and information speak to one another through dancing colors. Have you been to any of these places? No. I stand at the tip of the tendril and watch the landscape pass us as the direct devourer prepares to latch itself to another world. Why would I ever step outside my host? I am without danger here. Each day another piece of myself slips away. Let me ask you something else. Okay. Neat. Kind of like a guide-esque person.
All right.
Is this place? It's a face. Shrines of Chilla. Little Nelash. Dragon Slump. Old Slate Block. Okay, these are the 3 places I can go. So let's try check out the Shrine of Chilla first.
Yes.
With the shrine.
Yes.
What can I touch? Cultist, Ragman, Observant Spec, and tonight. So this is the cultist place, I guess. Hello. Observant Spec. In the shadowy corner of the shrine lurks an old woman, so tiny and unremarkable that she blends into the bloom. She's been watching you since you arrived, following you with bright, intense eyes. You notice that one of her arms is missing at the elbow. He's here. Greetings. The whispers told me that you were coming, cast off. They often do. When someone they regard as interesting finds their way to the bloom. Her voice is soft and shifting, as if everything she says is echoed by the chittering voice of the bloom. Suddenly she is at your side. One small hand touching your arm. Her eyes probe yours. Did you come here with purpose? Did you know what this place is? What place this is? Yours at the shrine does feel familiar, as if you, whereas the Chain of God has been here before. Try to remember. Nah. Come on. 80 and a fail? Fine. That den of lunatics. No. A shrine of a woman who was memorialized in the giant statue? Yes, of course it is. The old woman shrugs, seeming disappointed, but that's not why it's important to you and your siblings. In going here, you crossed your sire's path. Years ago, he stood there where you do now. The old woman looks towards the stone slab nearby, piled with junk. He left an offering, a piece of his handiwork. And now, here you are in the shrine of the Chilla the Great, Chilla the Great, Chilla Silverskin, Chilla the Bride of the Hammer, and I am her observant spec. Then, when the Chinigan was here, what do you want from the bloom? To create a portal to another world, a place called Ascension. He believed that the crystals of the world would save him from death. So he descended to the bloom's heart and forged a bond of sorts. From that bond, a new Maw was born. It took our sire to the world he sought. She purses her lips, but for every bond the bloom always exact a price. If it could not feast upon it, your sire, then it will find a way to devour one of his offspring. More than one, perhaps. Her eyes to glitter. What can you tell me about Chilla? Stories, she murmurs, pass from one spec to the next. So many stories told by so many tongues, too many to hold in my head. But the broom remembers. It whispers in my ears to remind me. Tell me where Chilla came from. The speck closes her eyes and cocks her head like a bird, as if listening to voices of the bloom. She begins to speak a faint chitter of whispers that always underlie the words. Her words not grow louder, twisting them around in her head and spewing images in your mind's eye. Speak to me, he whispers. Tell me again about Chilla. Look up, high on the cliffs. A sturdy little house, a cliffs of Sigis flash before your eyes, crowded with old ramshackle homes. They cling to the rocks like spindly crabs. High above the sea, one of them catches your eye. A pretty little house, freshly painted blue and green, in a solid nook of stone. A man and a woman dwell inside. A father and mother, 2 children. They have a girl and a boy. Now you can see the people too. The girl is tall for her age, robust and strong. Her brother is smaller and cautious and quick. Keeps listening. One day the father pulls the treasure from the sea. You can see the man in the fishing boat hauling a silver cylinder out of the net, looking at it in wonder. He brings it home to his family. What shall I do with the artifact, he wondered, for I am a simple man, neither wizard or a sage. The man glances out the window of his house and sees his 2 children playing in the street. Artifacts bring trouble, he says to himself, and I have a family to protect. I'll bring the treasure to the boss of the town, and she will thank me for it. So the next day the man gathers the treasure in a sack and sets out for the manor at the top of the cliffs. His daughter Chilla wants to go with him, but he shakes his head and goes alone. Keep listening. Many weeks pass, the man never returns from the manor on the cliffs. Chilla asks everyone she knows, but no one has seen her father. One day she says she and her brother leave their house in the morning. They hear a crash behind them. In your mind's eye, you can see the pretty little house pulling away from the cliff. Its wooden supports snapping like twigs, bursting apart as it falls toward the sea. It strikes you as strange that this house, seemingly kept so much better than its neighbors, should collapse so suddenly. Children race back along the road, only to find that their house is gone, and their mother lies dead among the rocks. As her brother curls up in the street and weeps, Chilla stands beside him, gazing toward the manor at the top of the cliffs. I know you did this, she whispers. I know what you did to my father. The treasure you took from him is my birthright, and I will have it back. Let's see. That's what drove her vengeance? Not vengeance. A desire to be extraditionary. The Speck's voice is quiet, and she whispers recede, and you sense that these words are truly her own. Chilla believed that her parents were easy victims because no one knew who they were. If they had been prominent and well-known, the boss of Sigis, so it wouldn't have dared to harm them. But they were very small and simple folk, so no one cared about when they died. For what else matters but to be known? The Divinity God also knows this. I'm gonna end it here, and next time we're gonna continue talking about this to this lady about Chilla. So until next time, remember, embrace the chaos so you go mad. Bye.